Hello everyone, it's Soprano Musings abroad. Even though I'm technically not abroad, I'm keeping the name, okay? Because the goal is to be abroad once more. So this will kick off our second video for the Digital Nomad series. Again, I want to help anybody avoid any pitfalls, to really have a clear, conscious plan of what it is that they want to do as a digital nomad, as a freelancer. I've actually been calling myself a digital freelancer because I'm not abroad right now. So if you are like me and you're currently in the States, or you're currently in your home country and you can't quite get out yet, maybe it's because of the pandemic, maybe it's visa situation, what have you. I'm going with digital freelancer. I like that. I like the sound of it, and I feel like that really encompasses what it is that I'm doing, or at least what I'm trying to do, because right now I'm in West Virginia, and I'm in the house, and I'm in the house bored. So, but before we get started, real quick, real talk. Let me grab this here. Where your planners, where your journals at? Because, like, if you're following this series, I want you to keep one of these. Like, I recommend this for my students, and I'm recommending this for you, so you have something to look back at. If you haven't watched a previous video, go watch it. Go watch it now. I asked several questions, and I want you to take a moment before I get started, and I want you to look at those questions, and I want you to look at your answers. And I want you to ask yourself honestly, do you still feel the same way you did when you answered those questions? Okay? It's okay if you don't. It's totally cool. If you don't feel the same way you did when you answered those questions, then ask yourself what changed. Why do you not feel the same way then? Do you feel uninspired? Do you not feel motivated? Are you just bored in the house bored? Like, what reason, what changed between the last, what is it? It's been 6-7 days, almost a week. Yeah. So ask yourself that, and like, seriously, keep a note and like write down what you think. Like, seriously, I mean, I don't want to get all Alicia Keys on you and, holler out Dear Diary or anything, but this will really help you. Like, not only do I think this will help you stay sane, this will also help you stay focused, because again, I'm back in the States, and I'm not miserable. I just feel like I'm in purgatory or something. But anywho, now that we've gotten that out of the way, okay, so in the first video, I told you guys all about my number, my student loan number, my messed up humble beginnings, and why I wanted to start this channel. Okay, cool. So we are now embarking on the digital nomad, digital freelancer aspect of this video. Okay, so you know why. You've asked yourself why is it that you want to do what it is that you want to do. Now you have to ask yourself how can you do this? How can you feasibly make plans to leave the States? We're not going to talk about the visa stuff yet. We're going to get to that, okay? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm trying to keep it 100 here. Total disclaimer, I'm not the person you really want to see just yet about visas, but I have somebody for you, and I'm going to go ahead and post her name right up here, because, like, if you want information, that's where you go when it comes to, like, visas, residencies. She knows people. Like, when I say she's connected, Stephanie knows what to do. Also, if you are interested in house sitting, she's also the person that you want to see. And that reminds me, I need to schedule my appointment with her, because I signed up for house sitting and I haven't been able to do it yet. So I need to do that. But yeah, definitely get in touch with Stephanie Perry. I'm not sure how to say her Instagram name, vicaciously, I'm not sure, but it's really cool. And she's the person that you want to see when you get into visas and all the other stuff. Also, this is a little side note. If you're online, which most of us are now because of the pandemic, if you're online, join a Facebook group to the place that you want to travel to. Okay, you can find a wealth of information there. You can get a vibe of the place there. But again, disclaimer, you're talking about people that are sharing their experiences. So not everyone's experience will be the same, but I think that is important. So that way you don't create this fantasy in your head like, ooh la la, this place is going to like change me for the better. It might not. You might get there and you might say, this sucks. I need out. Like, so it just your food for thought. Okay, back onto the topic. Okay, so how can you become a digital nomad? How can you become a digital freelancer? What skills do you have that you can translate to online? What is it that you want to do? Okay, and I mean seriously, like, if the pandemic has taught us nothing, it's that a lot of things can be done online. We are creative and resourceful people, so you can make this work. I am actually really excited because I created a few classes, and this is something I didn't think I'd really get to do until I took my Trinity Dip TESOL. So I'm really excited about this. There's a company that I signed up for, and my account was verified, and my classes are going live very, very, very soon. Hopefully, by the time this video is posted, my classes will already be live. So I'm going to go ahead and share the link with you for the company down in the description box. I'm really excited about that one, like super, super excited. But if teaching is not your thing, maybe you are a great assistant. You want to be a virtual assistant. Maybe you have a vehicle and you don't mind going out, picking up people's groceries and DoorDash and all that stuff. You get to meet cool people as long as you're social distancing, all that stuff. Find what works for you and how can you translate that to a digital nomad capacity. Trust me, it can be done, okay? I've seen people throughout this pandemic do extraordinary things. Even before the pandemic, real talk, but even more so now that we're in a pandemic. And yeah, I want you to like take your planner, take your pen or your pencil. If you don't like making mistakes, you can just erase. But take your pen, take your pencil, write down what skill sets do you have? What jobs have you had that you know can now be done remotely? What jobs do you not want to do? That's the second part, okay? Also write down what it is that you, like, seriously, say this to yourself right now. What I'm not going to do is, and write it down. Because I'm pretty sure all of us at this point have had one or two jobs that we're just like, you know what? This ain't my ministry. I'm out. I don't want to ever do this again. That's one of the reasons why too, like, I'm really happy that I work online. And we're going to get into that. And I'm not sure, you know what? Let's just do it. Okay. So we've talked about jobs that you want, jobs that you don't want to ever do again. Now let's talk about online teaching, because most of you know by now that I teach English online. I have my TELF, I have my TESOL, I have my IELTS, whatever the kids are calling it these days. I got the little special certificate from that other place that you can find all about on my playlist here, because like it's 2021, they pay me my money. We're not going to speak about it anymore. But just in case you feeling, a little nosy, you can go ahead and click. So yeah. I love teaching English. I love teaching English online. So I'm really excited again about the class that is supposed to I'm breathing into existence. Let me back up. I'm really excited to be launching my course on this particular website. Again, I'm going to post the name and the website link down in the description box, but it is for English. And for those of you that want to teach English online and you're wondering, oh my God, where do I even start? I got you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and post the link down there. This is actually where I got my IELTS certificate. I got my IELTS certificate with this company 3 years, almost 4 years ago. So the name of the company is I-2-I-TEFL. I to I TELF, basically, or Love TELF is another company that you can go to. You type that in online and they have a list, okay? There's a list of companies that you can work for if you don't have a degree. because that's one thing people are always asking me: how do I teach without a degree? First of all, you don't. Like, there are just certain places you don't want to go to without a degree because it's not safe for you. Like, don't do it. And that's another thing. I've been online recently, and a lot of people are talking about how you can travel to different countries and stay there and work there on a tourist visa. I swear to y'all, if you're watching this video, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not safe for you. You're going to end up being deported if you lucky. Okay? Let that sink in. There are lots of countries right now they know teaching is in. And there are lots of shady people out here in this world. And they do not have your best interests. So if you come across a company who will say things like, "Oh, well, you don't have your bachelor's? Okay, come to me tomorrow with your bachelor's and I'll hire you." Run for the hills. Run for the hills. If you want to be extra, go ahead and report them, okay? Because they're going to get you in some hot shenanigans, and no. Just don't. So, anywho, back to TELF, okay? Like I said, they will post on their website. They have a list of companies that you can work for online without a degree. If you do have a degree, you can also apply for those companies, as well as another list which they will have provided for you down below. I like this because, again, I like the company. I know they're legit because, like I said, I have my IELTS certificate with them, so that's why I'm going to recommend that to you guys. So if you've already answered the questions from last week and you are feeling froggy and you're ready for more, go ahead and map out plans. Okay, so what it is that you want to do as far as a digital freelancer. I would strongly suggest that you write down at least 3 to 5 different types of jobs that you can do, because as a digital nomad, you may be moving around. And I don't just necessarily mean from country to country. Like, you may have to switch jobs. Maybe something didn't work out. Maybe it's a temporary assignment. Like I said, it could be temporary. It could be seasonal. You never know. And that is why I feel that you should have at least 3 different types of jobs lined up that you can do. If you want to do 5, by all means, please do 5, because your skill set might call for multiple jobs, so you can cross-reference and do all kinds of cool things. And for those of you that are really into this series, I hope that you're doing this, and I hope that you will start sharing what you've come up with in the comments. Being a digital nomad or being a freelancer, everyone thinks, oh, you're living the life, you get to do this, that, and the other. But there's a lot of prepping. There's a lot of planning. You can't always predict which jobs are going to work out the best. So it's always good to give yourself options. You don't want to ever tie yourself, I think, in my opinion, as a digital nomad, you don't ever want to tie yourself to just one revenue stream. Like, I honestly think if you tied yourself to just one revenue stream as a digital nomad, you're wasting your resources, and you're leaving yourself to all kinds of pitfalls. So don't do it. Okay. Now that I've said that and I've shared that with you, like I said, I have a question. Serious question. How much money will it take for you to be comfortable in any country? This is super important, because where the money resides is where everyone is trying to be. So again, you can lie to me, you can lie to yourself, but the numbers, they don't lie. Like, the finances, they don't lie. Okay, they always get the mobsters on taxes and typos, and I stand by that. So again, make sure you know what amount of money, whether it's in USD, baht, pesos, won, whatever the British pound is. Make sure you know what that amount is before you start bouncing around from country to country, because the currencies will change, and depending on the market, it will fluctuate. So please ask yourself, what amount of money, what's your number? What amount do you need to be making? We'll just say monthly. We won't even go for annually just yet. Just ask yourself, what must your monthly income be to be comfortable? And by comfortable, I mean having a place to stay, having insurance, making sure that the lights are on, utilities, your phones, because again, as a digital nomad, you probably have 2 phones. I currently have 3. I never saw that coming. Like when phones first came out for me, I was like, this is expensive. I don't want to do it. But I currently have 3 phones. We'll talk more about that in the next video. But yeah, ask yourself, what does it take to pay for your rent? What does it take for your insurance? Not just medical, not like universal, but also life insurance, because that was one thing that I did. Yeah, when I bounced overseas for the first time, I didn't have life insurance, and it didn't really bother me as much until I was on my way home. I was like, oh my God, I've really been out in these streets without life insurance. What if something had happened to me? Like, yeah, so you definitely want to make sure you have those things. Make sure you have enough funds for your toiletries, necessities. If you like balling, I don't know how much of it you're going to be able to do in a pandemic, but you want to make sure that you have funds for that. So if someone in the comments can recommend like a financial planning app that you can use to keep track of your funds, keep track of your savings, I mostly just use whichever bank accounts I have. We're not, Lord, that's a whole nother video because I have more than one, to say the least, and there's a reason for that. Because as a digital nomad or as a freelancer, you have to keep track of your finances. Okay, tax season, it comes the same time every year, and you need to be prepared for it. So yes, I have separate accounts for Soprano Musings. If she brings in any income, I have separate accounts for this chick right here. She's already bringing in revenue. I have a separate income for teacher niece because she brings in different revenue, and I don't want to get caught slipping by the IRS. So yeah, that's the last piece of advice I'm going to leave you with. But again, the final question for today: how much do you need to earn monthly to be comfortable? It's a very important question. So once you've answered the questions from the previous video as well as this video, write it down. Okay, you might not want to write down the number, but have it ingrained, have it etched in your head, because you're going to need that. And we're going to get into that next week, because we're going to start talking about money a little bit more. And by that, I mean, how do I say this nicely? Basically, F you, pay me, okay? We're going to talk about how to go about pricing for yourself, how to match your qualifications with your rates. So thank you guys again for watching, and as always, be inspired, stay inspiring, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.